2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 1 is a verse where the Apostle Paul talks about a vision and revelations he received from the Lord. The verse reads, "I must go on boasting. Although there is nothing to be gained, I will go on to visions and revelations from the Lord." While this verse is specific to Paul's experiences, we can draw valuable lessons and apply the following principles daily. Seeking spiritual growth. Apply 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 1 by seeking spiritual growth and deeper intimacy with God. Cultivate a habit of prayer, meditation, and reading the scriptures to draw closer to the Lord and gain a better understanding of His will for your life. Being open to God's guidance. Just as Paul was open to receiving visions and revelations from the Lord, be open to God's guidance in your life. Be attentive to His voice, and seek His direction in making decisions and facing challenges. Embracing humility. Paul's boasting was not about personal achievements but about the experiences he had with God. Apply this verse by embracing humility in your daily life. Acknowledge your weaknesses and depend on God's strength. Sharing testimonies of God's work. Like Paul shared his visions and revelations, be willing to share your testimonies of God's work in your life with others. Your experiences can be a source of encouragement and inspiration to those around you. Acknowledging God's grace. Recognize that any spiritual insights or revelations you receive are a result of God's grace. Give glory to God for His work in your life and acknowledge that all good things come from Him. Persisting in faith. Paul's pursuit of visions and revelations shows his persistent faith and desire to know God more deeply. Apply this verse by persisting in your faith, even in times of doubt or difficulty. Trust that God will reveal Himself to those who seek Him earnestly. Prioritizing spiritual matters. Make time for spiritual matters in your daily routine. Amidst the busyness of life, set aside moments for prayer, worship, and reflection. Allow these times to nourish your soul and strengthen your relationship with God. Keeping an eternal perspective. Paul's focus was not on worldly achievements but on his spiritual experiences. Apply this verse by keeping an eternal perspective in your life. Prioritize the things of God and seek His kingdom above all else. Remember that 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 1 reminds us to seek God's presence, guidance, and spiritual growth in our daily lives. By applying these principles, you can deepen your faith, experience God's work in your life, and live with a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment.